I can't find one speck of sow thistle in Gary's garden, yet he's got tons of goldfinches feasting on something they found in his garden that they like just as well. I'm going to share that with you today. Hi everybody, it's Robbie from Southern California. I hiked down to Gary's garden this morning. It's cold. Do you know it was 36 degrees the other night and last night? There was even ice on the roof. Things are changing. Winter's here. It's quiet in Gary's garden. Though I did see some robins, which I haven't seen for a while. So the robins are here feeding on things. And what was amazing that I was so excited about was Gary had told me that his Chia plant, which is a salvia that's growing here in his garden, which got to about 10-15 feet tall, which was covered in flowers that those horsefly-like carpenter bees were feeding on. Well, now that the flowers are pretty much gone and those bees did their job, so those little flowers, I should say beautiful flowers, were now covered in seeds. It was pollinated by those bees, which now in turn has turned into food for the goldfinches. We didn't know that they'll eat that. We know that they eat sow thistle. We have sow thistle all over, which is a weed. Though you can use the greens for a green drink or whatever you use greens for, you can add them to salad. Sow thistle is in the dandelion family. But, you know, over the years, people have found better things to eat, so they don't eat that anymore. But it grows so easily, wild here in Southern California. All it needs is a little rain, soil that it could set its roots, and it will grow. Dandelion, on the other hand, we don't get a lot of that here because dandelion needs a lot of rain. It needs to be damp, the soil. Where sow thistle is drought resistant. So give it a little rain, it starts to grow, it will set roots, and even if there's no rain, it will get enough moisture from morning dew, whatever watering it can get, and it will grow. And the birds thrive on it. The bush tits go in there and collect insects, but the goldfinches, we have here lesser goldfinches in Southern California, they just thrive on the sow thistle. And of course the honeybees and native bees and hoverflies, they all use the yellow flower from the sow thistle. So once they pollinate it, and in turn the yellow flower produces seeds, then later on that's when your goldfinches come in and pick the seeds. Well, that's what happened now to the chia plant that Gary planted in his yard, in his garden. And now that the horsefly-like carpenter bees, along with, I'm sure, other bees as well. I saw honeybees in there and native bees in there. They've all done their job. They pollinated the plant. And now for the winter, until it's gone, the goldfinches have food now. As I sit here, we've got bush tits coming in. Can you hear them? They're flying all around me. There's one right now. Let's see if we can zoom in quickly. That's the bush tip. Off they go. Now, they come in large groups, and they feed on insects. They're not real big on seeds, but they love their tiny insects. So Gary's garden is alive with all these birds feeding on all the different stages of flowers that he had in here. Yeah, I'm still surrounded by bush tits. They're right in front of me in the lemon verbena right now. They're very fast and they don't sit still. That is one that just flew by. Oh, look. They're actually now in the chia plant. Now they're going to go in there and they're going to be looking for insects, little tiny insects. Oh, and there's the goldfinch. You see the goldfinch up there? Let's see if we can zoom in for a minute. They've constantly been feeding. Now that looks to be a female. Yep, that is a female. See what they're doing? They pick the seeds out. They're like little acrobats. No. Look how they can pick the seeds out. When Gary told me he saw them down here early this morning, I thought I've got to come down, grab my camera and see if I can spot them. Because I know they'll eat a lot of different seeds, but I've never seen them eat chia seed before. See what they do? They hold it with their foot. Now these seeds are very different than the sow thistle, which has that real fuzzy seed. This flower has a little black seed deep inside that long pod, you could call it. And so they can hang on and they can just pull the black seed out. Isn't that adorable? And they've been doing this all morning, and I guess for the past few days, as soon as the seeds became ripe, they are actually eating them ripe. Now they'll go into my garden and eat other plants too. They'll eat greens. Goldfinches will eat greens. And they will pick, like from the brassicas, your kale and collard, they'll eat the green seeds. But here they're eating the ripe seeds. Now remember, as they miss the seeds and they fall to the ground, come spring, anything they missed could take off and start to grow in Gary's garden. What you're hearing right now around me, literally all around me, are bush tits with that little high-pitched screech they give. Now the other thing too is if they don't digest the seed completely and they don't break it down, the seeds can be passed all over the hillside by them just pooping it out. And the only thing the seeds will need is the right condition when the time is right, which is soil. It's going to be on soil and water. Isn't this fun? I thought I'd take you with me. So that's what he's doing. She is picking out seeds. And I'm sure that there's more there too. More birds we've seen. That's good. Let's back up for a minute. Oh yeah, they're on the other side as well. I can see that there's... No, that is goldfinches there. Let's try to zoom in again. Of course, I'm sitting on this side. So they're going to go on the other side, some of them. But they actually know me, a lot of these birds. So they don't mind me now. That is a bush tit. Let's see if I can get that in focus for you. That's a bush tit. Now if you notice, they're going around the plants, but they're not looking for seeds. That's what I was saying. The bush tits are looking for insects. So you want them in your garden. See how he's picking around? They're picking insects. And they like tiny little insects. Like if they find the hornworm, in the spring, in summer, they'll eat it only when it first hatches. Otherwise, it's pretty much going to be bigger than them. Isn't that adorable? So the bush tits are very gray. You can go back and see other videos I've done where the female has a whitish eye and the males have a jet black eye. They nest here and have babies. They build a beautiful nest. But see how they're feeding? See if I can do this. They're feeding right next to the goldfinch. That's a male goldfinch. See how they just hang on there and you can just pick. And the bush tits already took off. They're in the bushes, but I mean they're there. So that's what's going on here in Gary's garden. Let me get back in focus. So what do we have going on here? He has got, well, this is an eggplant, I believe, but I don't see any flowers right now. That's not to say there's no eggplants hidden. He's got a lot of pepinos. I can stand up for a minute. We can do a quick zip around. He's working and doing other things. Look at this. This is a very young pepino. You can eat these at any stage and cook them like you would tomatoes. Otherwise, if you leave them, they get bigger and then they get sweet. Then he's got his passion fruit, which are really taking off. They really like the cold weather. And look up on the top there, that's Malabar spinach. We're probably going to get more rain. We had rain the other day, but it's just been so cold. Of course, the sweet potato vines are everywhere. And then you can see he's got a fountain here. I hear the water going. There's enough sun to run it. Oh yeah, see the water down there, right there. That's the fountain going. Now what you're hearing is we had a really bad storm and people lost trees. We did not lose any trees this time. Though we have in the past, we didn't lose any trees. So, oh, that's a little bush tit came out. Nope, that was a wren. That's a little wren over there. So Gary's garden's got a ton of birds in here. Like I said, when I walked in, they were on the outside, the robins. So that was a wren. Here's another pond all covered up. Yeah, so we didn't lose any trees, but boy, we heard them crashing. They were falling. Limbs were falling from all the rain and wind we had. But all in all, his garden looks beautiful. And I'm just amazed how beautiful the dragon fruit plant looks. Look at the dragon fruit plant. It is so green that it loved the cold and the rain. It's not going to grow any fruit this time of the year, but that's okay. He'll get a ton of fruit next year. And I know he's been working in there. I see he's got some sort of mint. He's got mint, and then the lemon verbena's all there. Purple tree collar. This is regular tree collar. Look how green it is. How beautiful when you hit winter. See, let me see if there's any insects in there. No, because the bush tits are doing their job. And then he's got artichoke. He's got totes with Swiss chard growing, and then he's got this hybrid plant. He took a cutting from me. This is just a gorgeous deep green. It looks, see, let me grab it. See how it kind of looks like a dinosaur kale? I know it's hybridized with a dinosaur kale. Just gorgeous green plant. Look at this. It's like a jungle, just a jungle of greenery in here. Gary's garden is always going to look better than mine because on hot days, the plants absolutely love this constant sunshade, where mine is baking in the sun. Every garden is a different microclimate. Every garden is going to be different. And that's what's just beautiful, is you can do different things in different gardens. Here, oh, heard that tree go down. Here, he doesn't have to water as much as me because of the sunshade. Let's walk around for a few minutes. So he only comes down here, even in the summer, maybe twice a week to see if everything looks okay and water what he needs to. Even containers. He doesn't have to water as much. Me, in the summer, I like to walk through every day. Oh, he does have flowers on his eggplant. So there might be some eggplant. Oh, the goldfinches are still in there. He doesn't have to come down as often, and I have to do mine. Like I said, I enjoy going out there and just lightly going through my garden, and it only takes me 30 minutes to do all of them. That's all of them. The way I do my garden is I set it up in a manner in which it's going to be quick and easy. With the chair garden, it's a loop. Boom, you go all the way around and have that chair, both chair gardens, the rainbow garden and chair garden, literally watered in less than 5 minutes because it's not all spread apart. So it's all about the way you set things up. You spread it apart, you've got to walk further, then it's going to take you longer. So I kind of think about that. Here, Gary's got everything in one spot, so he can just walk around. He's got a hose, as you can see. There's his garden hose. And he can walk around and see what needs to be watered. And that's the difference. So it's by setting it up. It's all in the way you put your garden together. And you have to put it together what works for you. Look at this. This is a big old Swiss chard. Look how big it is. I mean, technically, it's better to start fresh, but this is just wonderful. And it will throw seeds, and then he can pick it. Let's just walk around. Look. He's got all kinds of stuff. Half the stuff I probably don't even know what he's got. Look at this. There's his nasturtiums. They're still flowering. In winter? Look at that. He still has flowers on his nasturtiums. That is an amazing plant. He gets no insects on that plant. Oh, he's got fig is coming through there. A fig tree. His bananas, they're quiet right now. I'm not sure if he's got any bananas that will be ripe soon or not. See, he's got some pups. The pups, you see the pup there? There's a little pup there. Pups are small banana plants. They come up on the side. That's how you propagate bananas. Once the banana stalk, the main plant has bananas, it's gone. It's done its job and it's over. But in the meantime, it throws tons of little plants underneath, and you can separate that. And that might be what he did there. I don't know. But you can separate the pups, is what they're called. And you just chop them off the bottom. Try to get a little bit of the base, like a little bit of the root, and then move them. And that's how you propagate bananas. Can't really grow them from seed. That is the best way, is taking the pups off. And that's what he does. I know, it's sad. You think, that beautiful banana plant, absolutely gorgeous, puts all that work and effort out. Having bananas, having hummingbirds nest on the bananas, that's what we've had here in Gary's garden. They built a nest on a bunch of bananas and raised multiple babies and multiple nests. And then once the bananas are ripe, you have to cut the stalk off because it's just gone. It starts to die, it will pull on the other plants, it will draw from the other plants, so the best thing to do is just lop it down and then let all the babies around it grow. And that's what you do. And then he's got his cannas, red cannas there, and the hummingbirds absolutely love those flowers. So his garden here is set up not for just food, which of course we do get, and being attacked by a plant, but for nature too. Isn't this beautiful? Look at his mustard in a container. Look at the size of this. And keep in mind, he loads that up like me, just full of leaves. I mean, he's creating his own soil. Loads it up with leaves, grabs some soil, puts it on there, and then gets his mustard growing. And that's it. And it's all his plants. He's got purslane there. He's got potato mint there. I see more, I guess that's sweet potato. There's more potato mint. The Malabar spinach, this one's in the cold, so it's not doing as well. That is elephant food hanging down from the top. Look at that. So much of this he's got growing. A lot of it is dying back. Like I said, we're in winter. It's cold. Oh, look. A garlic chive growing here in the ground because the seed fell there. Let's do one last trip outside and then we'll wrap this up. He's going to wait and probably figure out where he wants to plant his dragon fruit plant he got. But isn't that amazing in the winter, all the stuff he's got? So if I want to make a green drink, I know exactly where to go if I can't find enough in my garden, which I do, but if I want, and I do come down here, I pick, this is more of the hybrid plant that I grew. Look at this. He keeps taking cuttings and throwing them in there and they're growing all over the place. He's got tons of greens. There is no shortage of greens. There's no shortage of sweet potatoes. I've got to come down here and get sweet potatoes. And then in the spring, he's going to have all the dragon fruit that he wants, along with everything else. Let's do a quick peek out here, and then let's wrap this up. This is just a morning vlog on what's going on in his garden. I'm going to tell you, I haven't cooked with it. This is that shark fin melon, I think he calls it. Look at the size of these things. They're like, what are they? Bigger than cantaloupes. They're huge. I will tell you, I have to try to cook with it. He says, or he has told me that they taste like zucchini. I'm telling you, if they taste like zucchini, if they really do, this will be my next favorite thing because I love using zucchini all year. And I put that in everything, be it enchiladas and chili, or just cutting it up and frying it up with a little butter on top of the, cooktop in a frying pan and just sauteing it. The dogs love it. We all love it. So I'm going to have to try it. I have not tried it yet. I don't know if he's waiting for these to get big if he wants to collect the seeds, but he did tell me to go in there and pick, and he's got some in his garden too. But this should be something come next spring because he's planning on having all kinds of stuff growing there. Now he's setting up strawberries in totes, and you can see he's got more totes there. So that's basically what's going on. So kind of wanted to do this quick vlog. Yeah, quick. And then I'm going to go up and go feed the hummingbirds again. Look at the citrus trees. Wow. They're all going to be really, really happy with all this rain we've had. And like I said, we're due for rain this afternoon. And then again, I think next week. I did come down. Today was the big thing. I wanted to see the goldfinches, and I see them flying all over. And got to see robins, house wren, and of course the bush tits, along with saw a few other birds when I came down here. There were some warblers flying around. There was some towhees flying around. I heard the woodpeckers. I didn't see them, but I know they're here. So with that, I'm going to go back in. It is freezing outside. I don't know how cold it is. My hands are like ice. So I wanted to share with you the goldfinches. And if you've got any of those chia pets, throw some of those seeds in a pot and you won't believe how beautiful they look when they grow. I had my chia seeds that I bought at the store for over 2 years in the freezer, and that's what he's growing from. Old chia seeds. I was surprised. With that, have a wonderful day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. Oh, this was fun. Oh, I found some sow thistle. It hasn't opened yet. Oh, there's a little bit more, so I guess he does have sow thistle in his garden. And yet they are just as happy as can be with all that chia plant growing. That's salvia plant.